uptown, and
Don't
even
say
like
it. Don't say it.
I don't know
Don't do
where,
it.
but I mean, like
Yeah, there
I've
you
gone
go.
to Reese a couple times, even
Yeah.
which is no one goes up there, and
Well,
it's
I
but doesn't it's really fickle. I've noticed
yeah,
also.
yeah. I'm definitely one for not naming spots.
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah,
you can
no, no,
say it.
no.
I'm not
I'm just
saying
saying the
anything.
one that like everyone knows. I'm just saying the one
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
everyone knows that you can
yeah,
park
yeah,
at, and there's like food stands and all that,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
that's like
Well,
nice
they're
to go
strict
hang
up
out
there
in.
too. You know, those
The what?
federal they have the well, it's not city lifeguards. They're federal lifeguards. So they definitely police the beach a little bit more. And considering
Yeah.
that they do have the parking lots up there, if you
Yeah.
don't go super early, then
You're kicked out.
you're not catching waves. If it's going off,
Yeah.
they'll paddle out and
Exactly.
get you out. It's weird.
Exactly.
Up in Reese is different. It's like so. But
But yeah, no. And so let's talk how did you start St. James then? So like it's early 2000s,
um,
and
well, I was
what does the name signify also?
well, basically like it was I had a little hard run at one point in my life, some dark times, and thank God everything worked out and I pulled through, and have good people in my life too, family and friends that helped me get through those times. But
Hmm.
I had that store Blood New York. I had a small T-shirt company when I had that called Disturbed with another local kid, an artist from Rockaway, and they everything was like this like dark kind of name or whatever. And my buddy was just like, Jimmy needs something clean, something classy, and they dropped the name St. James, and I was like, you know what, man, like that sounds pretty wholesome. And then I just really harped on it and thought about it, and then that's when I came up with the logo, the one that's like right behind me.
Yeah.
And then I just called that the Holy Trinity, the surf, skate, and snow. It's the board logo, and once I did that, and then I working at Blades for so long, and just the shops in the city, I had a really good idea for like what sells.
Hmm.
Um, and I approached a very good friend of mine, this guy Hugh Gran. He's born and raised West Village local. His family's been there forever. He's still there, and he's like OG artist for everyone. He's did some of Shut's original graphics. He's did Zoo. He has done everybody's stuff. And I had this whole theory, this whole concept or theory, whatever, for his fountain pen sketches he used to do, with the old ink pen, and I was like, listen,
Hmm.
man, I want to drive around and I want to do all the bridges and the iconic buildings and just make like this T-shirt line that is like more of an urban thing than it is directed right towards board sports,
Hmm.
and it took off. I mean, we were doing it more like graffiti artist style. Like I was parking on bridges and we were walking out on like bridge scaffolding, and like undercover cops pulling over, going with guns, like, get off the bridge. And I'm like, nah, don't worry about it, officer. I got a PBA card. I'm like, it's for a school project, for college, my college grad. He's like, I don't give a shit if it's for the president. Get off the bridge, And this is pre 9/11, obviously. So,
Yeah.
um, but we would do a lot of things like that, man. Like driving into Yankee Stadium when they were tearing it down, pretending that we were contractors,
That's
and we'd
epic.
sit in my pickup truck, and all the other guys would look at us like, we'd just wave and nod and act tough, like we were inspectors or something. And I'm like, you better draw faster, bro. You better draw faster. He's like, you're out of your mind. So this is how we've got a lot of the angles of these drawings and these sketches, and it kind of took off. Blades, bought our stuff for 15 years straight.
Wow.
CCS, we were in CCS big, and we were pretty big on the East Coast for a while, and then it just got very difficult to manage and maintain all of that. But I've always stayed true and to the sports, and the boards, because I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
And it felt good to like mentor kids and sponsor kids and kind of like try to just help them navigate through those awkward late teenage, early 20 years where substance can be an issue, or just different pressures of like trying to figure yourself out, you know what I mean? And just having somebody that's honest enough and cares enough about the kid to say it to their face, like, yo, dude, you're fucking up, man. You got to get your shit together, you know? Because sometimes people you roll with don't take the time to say that to your face, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was always another very important dynamic to the company that I really care about. And the same thing that I still do now, you know? So, and I'm not saying that I ain't no, you know, angel here. It's just I've I'm definitely good at raising hell and throwing parties, but you know, you know, I got that Libra to me where I kind of balance it out enough, you know. So it's a very slippery slope, you know. So you know, it stinks when you see talented people fall victim of certain things, you know.
Yeah. Well, in New York, you know, we've seen a lot of people come and go, you know, and, you know, especially surf and skate scene particularly,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there's been a lot of, you know, incredibly talented people who've left us a little too early, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, it's just one of the reasons why I really like doing the company, you know, and you know, I mean, as I got older in the field of the actual business of the brand, I figured out and navigated through, okay, like I can't afford this, I can't afford that. I just started doing everything myself. So I learned how to film. I filmed all the video clips. You know, I learned how to edit on Final Cut. I did all of that stuff myself, putting out full length videos. And, you know, I learned how to
And you
screen
screen
print. So
print, man. Like,
yeah,
dude.
I do everything in house myself. So like everything is like, you know, I got a crew of kids that work with us now, thank God, because I wouldn't be able to keep up with the production otherwise. And they're all solid kids, and it's nice to give out jobs, and you know, and it's just really gratifying, you know. It makes me feel good in the heart to do the right thing, and so it's fun. It's just something that we could all revolve around too, and the people are stoked whether they're 50 years old or they're 12 years old, you know.
And,
Um,
and then
so
on
it's
top of
nice.
that, you run Borders, you know, basically, which is
Yeah,
kind of wild too. You know,
yeah.
co-owner of Borders, which is like one of the most core shops in Rockaway.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I really do have to give Steve and Christian props, the Status family, because when they opened up Borders on 92nd Street in '04, they opened
Yeah.
up. Um, you know, they're brilliant. I don't know if anybody really knows this, but here's the opportunity for people to find out is like they're the ones that created surf lockers. And without that, they
Yeah.
wouldn't really half of Rockaway surf shops and businesses in Rockaway would not survive without their locker dimension to their
Yeah.
business. So I just really want to let everybody know, like, if anybody deserves some homage, it's those guys because they really did that, you know, and they really stick to like their guns and trying to stay grassroots and like not rent surfboards until 10 a.m. so that the
Yeah.
breaks or like the all the breaks in the neighborhood that don't have lifeguards on don't get flooded with newcomers taking out
Yeah.
foam tops to other spots because they're nervous of surfing at 90th Street in the crowd. You know what I mean? So yeah, they probably lose a good amount of money for not renting boards at 8 a.m. You know what I mean? But
But
it's just
it's
there's certain
like,
things that you should stick to because that's the whole reason that you're here. You know, so um, you know it's hard to do that this day and age. But so far they're blessed enough. You know, and when the concessions were finally going to reopen
yeah.
since they were closed since the 80s, like I said earlier, when
Yeah.
everything just kind of like shut down. We were presented the opportunity, obviously, because we were pretty much the only community surf shop around and had the, you know, I guess the reputation for doing the right thing. So that's when they asked me to become a partner on the boardwalk, you know. So
Yeah.
we call that Borders on the Boardwalk. So those locations, it's me, Steve, and Christian.
Which
Yeah.
you guys crush, you know?
Yeah, we do really good. And, you know, man, I can't even tell you how much the stuff we donate every year. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, forget it. Between the VFWs, all the different fundraisers for, you know, whether it's a cancer situation, whether it's someone that passed away, or it could be like for you know, homeless dogs. You know, like we're always giving stuff out to like just try to raise money for a friend in need or a cause in need in the neighborhood. And that's just another good thing that we just like to do. And not that we look for anything in return. I mean, just it's just the right thing to do, and it just seems like God does the right thing and just sends it back our way, whether we see it or not. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's cool. You know.
Now, what's going on with the concessions? I've heard all sorts of drama with the food
Uh,
concessions.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why, but unfortunately, my phone is always the one. I'm not. It just blows up like
Yeah.
crazy. I'll wake up in the morning and the newspapers are calling me. Everybody on under the sun is like, "Did you hear?" And I just want to work and like anything else. I just want to be like, "Listen, man. It's an island. It's small. It's only 9 miles wide. And if you do something stupid or you act like a donkey, guess what? Everyone's gonna know about it. You know what I mean? So like."
Yeah.
There was some shady shit that went down, and I mean, karma's a bitch. So whoever had their dealings in it, it is what it is, But I try my hardest not to get too involved
Right.
because every season it's like that. I think that's anywhere on an island.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get their business up and running and trying to get their merchandise and their staff, and everybody's trying to, there's only 80 kids that could work, so everybody's trying to grab the same couple of people. So it's tough running a seasonal business that you got 3 months to make your money for 12 months.
It's
you
really
know?
hard. I can't even imagine,
Yeah.
and like last year must have been really difficult with COVID, and just
Yeah.
the level of, one, like safety, and two, like just, it would, I mean, luckily the beaches were busy last summer, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. They were
still
very,
but it still was like a little bit of a hampering, it was a slow start at least, and
yeah.
it's like
It
made
was,
it even
I look at it
tougher.
this way. At least we were able to give out dozens of jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a wash. We're praying for a strong comeback this year. So as long as we get those sunny 80, 90-degree days,
Well, we're
we'll,
off to a
we'll,
good
we'll be
start
all
with the
right.
heat wave,
Yes.
man. Everyone's
Dude,
going to the beach.
I was kind of crapping when we ordered all of this stuff for all these locations, and then the whole Memorial Weekend was a wash. I'm like, oh my God. But like I said, the universe, God provides, and boom, the following weekend was like heat wave chaos, So
You can't even find parking anywhere. It's like hilarious
no,
watching
parking in
people
Rockaway is a
looking for
disaster now.
parking. It's
Yeah, yeah,
hilarious. Like,
yeah.
I just love watching people just drive around, keep driving around, and keep asking people. It's kind of funny. Like,
Well, it's like going to LBI or somewhere else where it's just like if you don't know, then you're out, man. You're better off
yeah,
just taking public transportation.
it's
But
hilarious.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, Borders is definitely anchored in, man, and it's not going anywhere. I don't think just because we just have too much passion for our neighborhood, and
yeah.
for surfing and skateboarding and stuff. So it's like as long as we could give out jobs and pay our own bills, we're good. You know.
So so now let's talk Rock, Stock, and Barrels Comp and Festival here coming up. It's June 19th and
That's
20th. Is that
actually the 12th. It's
the
actually
12th?
this
So,
Saturday coming
oh,
up.
this
Yeah, yeah,
Saturday.
this Saturday. Yeah,
Oh
June
man.
12th. Yeah, June 12th. I mean, that's a legit. I mean, no offense to my boy Will Scooten and Long Beach and all, but it really is the only New York City like surf, skate, and music festival out there. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
this is our 15th year.
Wow.
Um, and it's an awesome dynamic, man. I mean, it's basically like a Warp Tour, but with surfing added.
Wow.
It's literally what it's like. We have the skate comp. We're giving away. At this point, this sponsors are jumping on last minute because we're gaining so much momentum. So we started off with 2K for
Yeah.
cash and prizes for the skate competition this Saturday at Beach 90th Street Skate Park.
Wow.
And we looks like we're going to be over that at this point. And we got live bands from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh,
We got an entire shopping village along stretch of 2 or 3 blocks of boardwalk. And then we got the local boys are going to run like grassroots punk rock style surf contest.
Nice.
Because the ESA, they usually run it for us, the ESA.
Yeah.